Miharu peeking past the door, calling him Baka, leaving.
You know exactly. That's why I'm just like, it's so like, it is every
But it
trope.
was-
It
it
is
was
every
adorable.
trope in the show.
It was adorable. You know you like
You want to
this show.
spend Christmas Eve with us? Nah, don't worry. Spends Christmas together. It's like, oh. Cross-examine. We're back. I'm Bob. That's Justus. You'll hear
Episode
that story.
120. We're back on our A-list this week, which
About
involves
damn time.
Eminence and Shadow,
Tokyo Revengers.
a Christmas arc, whatever they want to call it. Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, Second Attack. The Angel Next Door spoils me rotten, I think.
Yep. And then Buddy Daddies.
And Buddy Daddies.
They're definitely not gay. There's something you're going to want to know this week, and you'll love it on there. Hey, you want to start off with Eminence and Shadow on there?
Hey,
have you met any elves that look like me lately? Nope, not a one. Nope, I haven't met a single one that looks like you.
So that interaction was actually kind of good, just because he's playing it off real cool, and you're like, well, you know he's lying, because she kind of probably already knows he's lying as well, because it's like, are you sure? Nope. Like,
are you really sure? Nah, man. Nah, that ain't me.
They did the weird thing where it's like every time they would cut back to him, at one point you get a shot of almost in his entire mouth, where it's like, yeah, that's a weird shot choice. They just kept punching into the point where it's like, that's his mouth.
So that one girl he was fighting, the blue hair chick, when he beat her, did you think he cut off her arm?
No.
For like a few seconds, like I thought, did he like cut her arm off? Because he did the cutaway, and she's bleeding on the ground, and she's laying on the arm, but there's not enough like bump to where she should be. So I don't know if that's just style choice. Because the next thing you don't see her arm, they purposely block it off to find it. Then she's like shake on it, and I was like, oh, okay, she does have her arm. Yeah, so that means her tits definitely got cut, which she's just up and walking around after that kind of an injury. So I'm just saying, maybe he was sparing, but it was cool seeing him fight red hair chick.
Iris.
Yeah. Fighting her, dude, I was like, oh, wow, we're actually getting like a cool fight. Not just him like, pew.
No, it turns out it's just torture.
Yeah.
There was a significantly better fight with him against Anna Rose. Because at least she fought back. Iris was
it's like she didn't even swing her sword and she failed.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he's very strong, and you'd be a little shooken too if the first thing you thought the moment you pulled your sword was, my head just got chopped off.
Well, at first I was like, did you just cut off her head? Is this the thing? It's like, oh no, it's just psychological torture.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that. Like he'd be too dumb to do something like that.
Chop off someone's head?
Well, specifically to chop off like her head. A princess.
Hey man, the rules state you could fight. It's a Junie fights, man. It's anything could happen.
Yeah, it would just be dumb, like overall, to do something like that. Especially because it seems like he has a plan for that B squad over there with what was it, Beta, the sister to Iris.
Yo, he 100% threw Epsilon.
Yeah, Alexia, and
he 100% made the
Rose.
statement, the sidetrack, but when she's playing the piano, it's like, there she is. Oh, and her butt and tits are fake. It's like, come on, man, let her have this one on there. It's like,
no, I mean, they are.
The power. Yeah, I mean, he's just speaking the truth on there.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the whole, like, I like playing the piano because people think, oh, you're just studying. And it was the perfect way to get people to leave me alone. And it's like, man, this giving me some like Jose Arima memes.
Yeah.
Or feels on there. We're like, that is when people leave me alone. No. And again,
Moonlight Sonata, if I can actually speak
again,
today.
he did mention like, these girls are just straight up plagiarizing, but it's kind of my fault for just showing them the thing on there. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, future upcoming artist on there. It's like, he did just kind of steal everything that those artists probably could have come up with.
I mean, it's fine. It's an isekai world.
I mean, he also
There's magic.
I still don't get the technology in this world.
No, it makes sense.
We have pen and paper.
Mm-hmm.
We have the technology to print a McDonald's logo on disposable wrapper paper inside a paper bag.
Yeah.
But we still have to use pen and paper because we can't have like a writer. But there's got to be a printing press somewhere making these wrappers for these sandwiches.
Yeah, but it's not common. Not everyone can have stuff like that. That's why it's back in the day.
But it's at a fast food.
I mean,
There was a printing press somewhere, and I want to see someone using a computer in the next couple episodes.
I did think it was a little
100%.
weird that Rose, like, my little memento to keep me moving on is fucking burger wrapper.
Yeah, she's like, it's like
She pulls it out like 3 times at one point, and you're like, okay.
The first time I thought, oh, it's like a tissue. Then she looks, I'm like, oh, it's the McDonald's logo.
Yeah, a Whack-Donald's.
Whack-Donald's. Sorry, there's an actual generic, McDonald's on there.
Yeah.
Free, copyright free on there.
I
don't know. I'm enjoying this series again so far because it's like, I don't think I've been this excited for some fights since I don't know, since he did like the Rock Lee thing where he's just like throwing off his like.
Well, that was last week.
Yeah.
Or the last time we talked about it.
Yeah. And I was like, oh man, I'm actually excited to watch how these tournament arcs, because we've had like basically 2 fighting arcs.
Yeah, roughly.
In this.
Yep. There was the church one, and then this is like the state held one in their, or country held one in their local area.
I do feel bad because the princess had to kill her dad.
No, she totally killed him. Like,
well, wasn't he technically kind of dead, but now
no,
kind
he
of
was
alive?
just being controlled. That's why they had to keep feeding him the drink. Otherwise, it would not work.
Feeding him the Kool-Aid on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she killed him and then definitely like went to go murder that other dude on there.
Perv ass hat.
Yeah, perv ass hat.
God,
I just love how cool Sid is, because he's like, oh, Eminence is here. She's like, oh my God, I've been waiting for my whole life. And he like gets out of character for a few seconds and back to, it's me, you Sid. I don't know, all in all, that I mean.
No, it's Shadow.
Oh, sorry.
His
friend needs to stop betting money, by the way.
At least maybe try to bet money to like, hey, this guy's like winning a lot. Maybe I'll just bet on him. No one will expect him to keep winning, right? Well, it was kind of funny watching him like be drug away in the background, though.
If Sid was a good friend, he would have told him like, "Hey, just bet some money on this other dude this next fight. Like everything you got."
No, Sid's an asshole. Also, his sister's crazy.
Oh,
really? Look,
crazy hot. You know, you got your crazy scale, you get your hot scale. This is where his sister like right at the peak of both.
As someone who has sisters, at no point would I ever want any of them to be sitting on top of me, choking me, telling me like I need to be doing something.
Man, it sounds like a good time to me, besides the sister part.
Besides the sister part is the important part here.
Hey,
otherwise,
man, all
that's
I'm saying
just
is,
you with a crazy chick.
You know what I mean? What's like, it should have been me. That's what it should have been, that situation. God damn it. I should have been the one there.
No, that's just too much.
I mean, are they really related? Because
yes.
like,
in this
he's
case,
from another world. You would make the argument they're from another world. Don't even at me.
I mean, technically he's from another world, but he was also rebirthed in this world, so he just has all of his memories.
You know what runs thicker than blood?
I mean, blood runs pretty thick. Typically, when blood runs together, it's because you are family.
It's because of family.
No, fuck that.
Agreed, he should.
No. Okay. He's got so many more options. Like, in this case, he essentially has his own secret harem, and he just, like, doesn't do anything.
That's how he got reincarnated to a secret assassination harem. There's your new title instead of Eminence and Shadow.
World's greatest assassin gets reincarnated as an aristocrat is basically just that anyways.
But
he has his own harem. They've specifically talked about, like, one of them is going to be his bride, and he occasionally goes to brothels to satisfy his needs. And the dude's supposed to be, like, 14.
Listen, it helps with testicular cancer. You gotta let it out every once in a while. He's just looking out for himself.
Man's running out of Mac sauce.
Is that the title of this? No. He ran out of Mac sauce?
No, God.
Question mark?
But yeah, and no, Eminence has been really good. I know we picked it up because it's like, this looks like some trashy stuff. It's so enjoyable.
It's got almost an 8. It's at 7.99.
It's very good. It's one of those ones where you're like, look, I know this is gonna be dumb, but I'm in for it, boys.
You're just in the like trashy like.
Well, so are so many other people, man. You're there too. Like,
Listen.
this is disgusting, standing in the line.
I'm disgusted. Where?
Yeah, like, it's just good.
Oh, man.
Can't help but enjoy it. No, sue me.
I hope Sid takes revenge one day.
Oh, God, there was.
Speaking of revenge, Justice.
Hey,
Hey, we're watching Tokyo Revengers episode
3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of these shows are like, I'm like 7 or like 6.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to keep track. I'm going to say right now.
Yeah.
His brother is cool as fuck. His character design, he's got like a very much like JoJo, like big buff guy. And it makes sense. It's like, how does he make all this money? In my head, I'm like, he probably sells his muscle, maybe illegal gambling. It's like, nah, he just beats people up for money. And I'm like,
yeah, that works.
He's good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
It's like America where people have guns, like, are you going to beat me up? Wow.
Yeah. The Ishiba Taiju.
God, he just got such a cool name too.
Is it is always really weird because you see this like big, muscular, badass looking dude, and then they'll do flashbacks to him as like 9 years old, and you're like, yeah, you're just a little shit.
He's scrawny, but they're like, he's always bigger and stronger. He was like, I think they mentioned he was like over 6 foot at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you think about the average size in Japan, because in America it's like, oh, they're 6 foot, kind of whatever.
Yeah.
But then you go to Japan, it's like, oh, that is like, that'd be like a 6'8" here.
Yeah,
like kind of thinking like the difference. So it's like he's a big built dude on there.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the overlying secrets of like, okay, we'll let him leave Tomen if like you set his sister free. And it's like, okay, deal. It's like, you have no idea what's actually been happening. It's like, was she getting molested? Is that what's going on here?
Apparently she was a drug mule, and there's
kind of a hint of like maybe she was on her body a little bit.
I don't think that's what's going on. I should also say I don't remember that happened, but I do know that there is a secondary twist about that, and I don't want to get too much into it. If I remember it correctly, because it has been a little while since I've read this chapter, they are setting things up really well, especially as someone who's been a manga reader for this show. It's all tracking really nicely. There's not many kind of deviations or anything like that. You do get Chifu. Yeah.
Before we get too far, I did have one thing I wanted to play. Maybe she's getting like sold into like sex.
Okay.
Sorry,
I don't even think that picked up.
No, it was a special victim. Sorry, I said that. So you're talking about. So you're saying like Chifu?
Yeah,
well, no, the
Chifu,
big thing that happened is Takamichi told Chifu, I think it's like Chifuyu, whatever, Chifu, because I think he's got like a nickname. He told him everything. He's like, it's a joke. And he's like, I kind of believe. Then he's like, it's not a joke. He's like, I knew it. It's like, because then they remind you the next goddamn episode. Oh, he's got a plan A, plan B. Both fail. He's like, I forgot he's an idiot.
Yeah.
So you get the two biggest idiots of Tomen working together now.
Yeah. He's such a fucking bro, though. Like, come on now. He's willing to be down for whatever. He is one of the best characters in the entire show.
Who? Takamichi? Chifu? Oh, yeah. He's just kind of like there, whatever.
Yeah. He's an absolute homie. This is the first time you actually get to see Draken talk.
In ever?
Yes.
Well, last time we heard him talk was the last season, I'm pretty sure.
With a different voice actor. So whoever...
That's right, because I don't went to jail.
He like had to step down from everything because he was maybe like cheating on his very famous fiance wife with multiple women. It was an entire shit show. He's lost like...
He fits the character.
Fair.
Actually, he doesn't because he was pretty loyal to just one gal.
Yeah.
So never mind. He doesn't fit the character. Fuck you, Draken.
Well, Draken's original voice actor.
Yeah, fuck you, original Draken voice actor.
Yeah, but he's... the new one, he still does a really good job.
I mean, I really didn't notice a huge... I mean, if you played it side by side, but...
Mm-hmm. There'd definitely be a difference.
Since you haven't heard him in, what, over a year? A year and a half?
This new guy's voice is a little bit deeper. That's the only kind of like big thing.
They're older now.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Slightly older on there. But the thing is, so the interesting thing in this episode is Takemichi goes through this whole, like, 3 episodes of, I'm going to change the future so he doesn't kill his brother for his sister's sake. Mm-hmm. Does it all. Then at the end, he's like, I'm going to kill my brother to keep my sister safe. It's like, well, this was all for nothing. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I got to go hang out with Hinata's brothers.
Hina's brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they're about to go fight. What's his name again? The big dude again?
Shiba.
So they're about to fight him on Christmas Day, and he'll be alone in the church. He's a devout Christian. I'm like, oh, so Christian of him to go beat up people for money.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Okay.
Good do.
But then he's like, I got to break up with Hina to keep her safe, which was kind of sad. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Because they play the whole slideshow of Hina really loved you when her mother gave her, like, because he's seen her die multiple times at this point.
Yes.
And the only way to keep her safe is probably just breaking up with her so she has as far a distance as she can.
Well, because even there was that lead up where she's like, oh, let's go on the date Christmas Eve. And he's like, that's where some of the flashback comes in where he remembers that they broke up that day. And he's like, why would I ever do anything like crazy like that? Like, I love her, this, that. And then Dad comes in.
Well, before you find out Dad asked him to break up with Hina, she walks up to her mother and she's like, Mom, do you still love Dad after all these years? She's like, what kind of question is that? Of course I do. And Hina's like, I hope in 10 years I can say the same thing, that I still love Takemichi. Next scene, I'm waiting to break up with my daughter. It's like, oh, you won't do that. Next scene, yeah, we should break up. And she beats him up.
Yeah. She
like jumps on top of her. Pow, pow, pow.
This show.
Do they get back together? Tell me.
This show is excellent at like having a shit main character, but the side characters are
way better.
Are both way better and the most important anyways. Because the people that he's interacting with, Takemichi is a crybaby. Clearly, within these,
not even once.
Look, within these 5 episodes, he's cried every episode.
What do you want?
You do see really good qualities in him. He's just kind of annoying. But you have characters like Hina and Chifu and like Draken and a lot of them where you're like, man, this is
Takashi's also a really good character.
It's still really enjoyable.
Division 2's captain?
Yes, and learning more about him, because beforehand...
Well, yeah, you know nothing about him. You just knew he was a good fighter.
He was a good fighter, and that he's the one who makes the clothing for Toman.
Yeah, and then you are like, oh, we had to take care of his brother and his sister from a very, very young age, because Mom always works late on there. It's like, your mom's a whore.
Oh, you don't know that. Like, calm down. But there's a lots of stuff like that where
1 + 1 = 2.
0.
Yeah, she's a whore. I'm sorry, Takashi's mother.
So there's lots of things like that where the characters are super great to watch, and especially kind of be flushed out more.
This is supposed to take place like now, right?
No.
Or like more of like 12 years ago?
12 years ago.
Even 12 years ago. If you break a glass in a diner and you threaten to stab and kill someone and another guy just pulls out like a butter knife to stab. How did... I don't know. It was a scene where they're about to stab and kill each other. It's like, no infighting. Let's go. No, we're friends.
Yeah, that was Kisaki and...
I just closed it on there.
Oh, why would you just close it? It's was super important. Hanma, them setting up to.
Yeah, they still don't trust him. Which I mean, I don't trust him. I don't trust you either.
Yeah, it entirely makes sense. You do find out the like my hero thing from Kisaki in the flashback. So at the end of season 1. And where season 2 started, Kisaki is about to kill Takemichi. Fucking pro move.
I'm a professional.
And he goes, he says, my hero, with tears running down as he goes to shoot Takemichi. then you find out within these couple of episodes where things are starting to come full circle. At one point, Hina knew Kisaki when he was a real big nerd, and Takemichi like came and defended Hina when Kisaki like definitely couldn't, and referred to himself as a hero. And that it's certain stuff like that where Takemichi's stupid and won't put it together. Like, he was being told, oh, these Black Dragon dudes are real bad. And then he walks around the corner. It's like, why does everyone got BD on there? What does that mean? And it's like,
no, but we did talk about it. To be fair, it is in like English. And I'm like,
whatever. He should still definitely know. They have to take an English class. Like,
you think a delinquent goes to English class? With Justice, come on, let's be honest.
Gets decent grades. He's stupid. Come on now. But yeah,
this is 12 years ago.
You continuously learn new things, and things come full circle. That's one of the qualities of Tokyo Revengers. There's not a lot of like loose ends, if that makes sense.
I'm sorry. I thought you just had more for that on there.
No.
Nah, I mean, luckily this
like
is
the show.
This is gonna be the second big fight, so second attack of Tokyo Revengers. Hey, speaking of second attacks, Nagatoro is
the second biggest attack. They've had
Shut
4.
up! It's the second season, second attack. Boom! There's your transition. Justice, happy?
Yo, Nagatoro want to smash.
She doesn't want us. Yeah, she wants to smash.
She wants to smash.
Also, I love how you finally see his senpai's mother. I think it's the second time you see her, because I think we saw in season 1. It's like, man, you're just a spitting image of your mother, aren't you?
Yeah.
She almost kissed him. She almost. Well, I mean, to be fair, we don't know if they actually.
No, I don't think she did.
I mean, maybe she snuck a kiss in before she ran away, and of course, senpai's mother was like, "Such a cute girl you had over on there," and he's like, I don't know what was a dream and what was real. I guess I got to find out from Nagatoro. Yeah, and then multiple times he get caught either holding hands because he's trying to block an attack, or grabbing her leg and getting like an upskirt shot, because you know that's just what would happen. And of course Nagatoro's friends show up. I'm like, hey Nagatoro, oh, what are you two doing? I swear I was just showing him some judo moves.
Oh, they're at it again, huh? Even in the midst of doing an actual judo move, of course, because she's still trying to play it off, where it's like, yeah, we're not buying it. Like, fuck you. Like,
yeah, we're not buying it. Even twice on there. You get to see Nagatoro in her little like sailor kind of uniform as a kid, because her sister shows us, and you see like, obviously Nagatoro used to win like, it seems like judo competitions, so she is good at sports and a lot of things on there, and her sister's trying to split. But then you actually get to see like, oh, you know, if you win this game, you get one demand. He's like, I'm gonna call you by your. Well, you couldn't think of anything. She's like, oh, you want to do something pervy, senpai? And she's like, maybe call you by your first name. He's like,
well, he wants to know the first name.
Yeah. And then he said he someday would ask, like, for real, not just through a bet on there. And then he did casually throw out the like, oh, what's up, Hayase? And it's like, oh, I'm sitting over there like, oh, let's go.
Yeah, well,
I fucking love it, man.
The fucking
I love the
sister like ruins it, because she's like, yeah, or, you know, I'll tell you whenever you feel free to ask. And the sister's like, yo,
Hayase, what's up? Hayase-chan, I think is what she calls her.
Yeah, and it's like,
listen, I love this kind of like lovey-dovey, like cheap kind of romance on there.
Oh, I feel like if that's the case, you're starting to enjoy the last show we're talking about.
The Last of Us?
No, the last show we're talking about today.
Yeah, The Last of Us.
Shut up.
It's an anime now.
We do get both of them being sick, which is kind of like,
because there's one right after the other, kind of.
There's this like weird thing where like, because it's winter like season, 3 of these shows this week were like, yeah, this is Christmas themed.
Well,
I mean, all of Tokyo Revengers is like
Tokyo Revengers is gonna have like its actual Christmas episode next time. Nagatoro had theirs, and then
the Angel Next Door,
and then Buddy Daddies is about to have one.
Oh, really?
So it's like,
welcome to the winter fucking season.
Hey, Christmas, even though it's the middle of February.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Sounds like Senpai needs to do Nagatoro.
I mean, he is.
He had a dream about her being his wife, and he
Mhm.
almost said it in his dreams. It's like, oh, that would have been hilarious. But, getting fed. He's like, oh, Nagatoro being my wife. It's like, they just put her in a suit. They didn't even trying to age her up at all. It's like, here's a suit. That's your wife now.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
They aged him up a little bit on there, but.
It's whatever.
Can the club teacher just stop being naked?
naked.
She literally at one point, she comes out, she's like, they're kind of flirting back and forth, Senpai and Nagatoro.
Yeah, because they want to both give each other gifts.
Yeah, and they're trying to be, it's just kind of that like, it's so adorable. I rest my case, sorry. They got each other scarves. It was adorable. But then they're talking about to hand it, and then Sana, the club president, comes out naked. Head to toe.
Anime god rays have reappeared.
She's just full on head to toe, like naked. You're gonna see everything. You're gonna see the baby maker. You're gonna see like the milk factory. You're gonna see everything.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, what are you doing? I'm taking it all in. He's like, can you take it in with clothes on? She's like, no.
Because she's like, I'm a senior. I'm gonna be graduating soon, and it's like, please hurry up.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that.
No, I think you would probably be told you don't get to graduate and
at that
don't
point.
come back to the school.
Please leave.
Yeah.
Oh,
she even stays because they keep trying to run around finding a place because the school's about to end. And at one point they end up on the roof. We're like, I will be safe here, and like everyone's smooching on the roof. But as they're running around the entire school, you occasionally run into like. It was that flash of the art president still in the hallway naked, and like two people are getting scared.
Yeah,
it's like, put on clothes.
Well, it was just adorable watching them try and give each other gifts on there, and then they got each other scarves, and it's like, oh.
And then they went.
I feel like that's
to New Year's.
I feel like that's a good. They literally just skipped like a whole week, and they're like, New Year's.
I mean, there's more.
It was even in the same episode.
Mm-hmm.
I think the scarf was a good pick.
Yeah. I don't wear scarves. I mean, that's totally a lie. I have one.
I used to wear.
It's in my car.
I used to wear scarves. All my scarves are like Rooster Teeth themed, and that kind of.
I ruined it.
I still like my Tower of Pimps one. Someone asked me one time because it just says Tower of Pimps on. They're like, "You ain't got no hose." You know who that is at work that would say that. Besides that, it was a good couple episodes.
He was creepy too.
Nagatoro was creepy too.
Well, yeah, specifically with the shrine thing where he's like, meet me later, but dude.
But she was so happy when he showed up. She's like, oh, it's a couple shrine. What did you wish for? Good ball. What did you wish for, Nagatoro? To be your bride? And she said, haha, just kidding. But she didn't say what she actually wished for, which means she did wish to be his bride. God, oh my God. The show needs to like end with them being married and having kids and living happily ever after. Speaking of kids, hey, Buddy Daddy has a kid in it.
You're so fucking predictable.
Well, your mom's predictable. Boom, get wrecked.
No.
Also, I love when you go to, Buddy Daddy's page. It's like, oh, here's these other characters. No picture yet on there. Makes sense because you've seen one of them, but it's just not updated. Buddy Daddy's is not a spy show that includes a kid. It is a family show that includes some spies.
So it's like Spy Family.
No, everyone keeps trying to compare it to Spy Family, but they're not spies. They're hitmen. Is their actual thing.
Sometimes spies have to be hitmen.
Yeah, but they're working for a nation versus these are just. I think everyone got too hung up on Spy Family now that they're like, oh, there's a kid and there's like some like espionage type thing. Oh, it's Spy Family.
Come on now.
There it's not. You need to watch it.
I can't wait for the dog.
There's no dog. There was never going to be a dog.
Yeah. You don't know that.
At most, there was a cat in episode 1, but that was for like 5 minutes on there. You okay there, buddy?
Yeah. Split ends.
So the biggest... I love the show because it's like these two guys going through the motions of...
Being gay lovers?
Having now a kid and all the things that come with that on there. Mm-hmm. There was a point where they make a joke about like Japanese bureaucracy, right?
Yeah.
And how filling out paperwork is just a pain. Because at one point, they go to look at daycares. And like in the U.S., I've never registered for someone for daycare, but the way I imagine it, because it's not too hard to get a daycare. We have plenty of coworkers that have found a new daycare in one day.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true in Japan, but it seems like you have to get an application to then apply for a daycare on there, proving like income, what you do, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. They don't fuck around.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently in Japan. Here it's like just an Iowa people throw kids in cages, boom, done. That's a legit thing that has happened in the state multiple times.
Yeah,
Besides that, so they fill out the application. Then they go about, he's like throwing paperwork, right? Kazuki. He's like, screw all this paperwork. There's too much paperwork to deal with on there. I don't get it. Then you watch Miri cry. Because you're like, I really want to go to preschool. You lied to me. You said I would go. And then they're like, okay, we'll do it. And they have to forge a whole bunch of documents. But the worst part is, they say this stuff in front of Miri. And little kids will just repeat stuff their parents say or just random things that they hear.
Yeah.
So they go to apply for this first daycare, right? And they're like, oh, Miri, do you really want to go here? Yeah, Daddy forged a whole bunch of documents to get here and lied on his application about what he does. He's a hitman. And the daycare's like, what? Kids say the darndest thing. Let's go. Then they get to the next one. They're like, Miri, you can't say that. You need to lie. Don't tell him the truth.
Yeah.
So they finally get into a daycare with this really, really nice teacher on there, which you see in the episode on there. And you get to watch Miri go through the troubles of being a new kid in daycare.
Did she get bullied?
Not really. Kids just didn't play with her because Kazuki... The thing is, like, Rei and Kazuki grew up in, like, weird childhoods. Rei grew up to, like, a hitman childhood, which you kind of learn in these episodes, like a mafia-style thing. Rich kid, but mafia. And I don't know why I'm so tired. Sorry. Kazuki grew up poor.
Okay.
So, like, their personalities kind of mesh. Really weird. So, Kazuki's whole idea is, like, popularity is the way to start the school year. Mm-hmm. So, he buys Miri all these expensive clothes. He goes to, like, designer stores. But then they find out daycare wants you to, on the back of the clothes, sew their name onto it. Write their name on all their stuff. And they have, like, buttloads of stuff on the couch. He's like, we spent all day shopping. Now I have to do this. Scramble to do all of it. Get to the daycare. Bring it there. And they're like, oh, we did all this. And they're like, oh, okay, thanks, blah, blah. Then they find out none of the kids want to play with Miri because she's too dressed up.
Yeah.
So she's wearing the rich kid clothes. They don't want her to get dirty. Other kids want to play with her because she looks different. Which brings the reality of, like, kids will be like that. They don't want to play with someone that's different because they haven't learned that it's okay to be a little different on there.
Yeah.
Unless you're Hitler. Fuck you. There was an off mention of something similar to that in the show. Oh. Besides that. So now they go the opposite. The teacher gives them, like, the daycare teacher's like, do this. Go to this store. And it's like the Dollar General of stores.
Ooh. Dollar General.
But the best part is, like, sorry, I forgot to mention, when they show up to the school they originally drop up Miri for the first time, they're all dressed up, right? So, like, Kazuki's dressed up in, like, head to toe red suit, looks like a mobster, right? And Rei's dressed up head to toe in, like, a black suit. Miri's dressed up in her beautiful clothes. And all the moms are there, and they have, like, a group text chat, which is very reminiscent of, like, what would actually happen. They're texting, like, oh, is he a mobster? He makes lots of money. How do I get in on that? Blah, 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 blah. Like, that's literally in the text messages. You can pause it and read it. Drop them off, and they're like, wow, you look very much like mobsters. And Miri's like, they're not mobsters. They're a hit. And then he stops her on there because you heard that they're hitman. But then they go under the approach of go to the $4 store. Like, everything's $4. And he makes an offhand joke of the one dress that they bought her. They could buy almost everything in the store for that price too.
Oh, Jesus.
They were like, they bought her, like, Gucci stuff, whatever. Because he just know they're all new to parenting. They don't know, like, kids are just
but how do you have so much money?
They like are hitmen for high class targets. Like, the last person they killed was, like, in charge of, like, a huge, like, Samsung group.
Well, yeah, but at some point, because I would assume they're both millionaires to a certain degree based on...
They were before they bought all this stuff.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing that I'm getting at. Like, at some point, you don't want to flaunt around that you have a lot of money because that'd be really dumb.
Well, they also live in, like, a high rise. And then you know what their cover was? At one point, like, they're like... They had to drop Miri off at... Well... Basically, they got some jobs to get money because they said they were going to go broke. And the funny part was, like, Rei, we're going broke. Oh, who cares? And he's like, but if we go broke, no more video games. He's like, oh, shit, we got to get jobs. And Miri's over there like, oh, yeah. It's like, Miri, if we go broke, no more candy. She's like, oh. Adorable faces. they take a new job. And this is where it gets really, really funny. Like, you get that kind of dad moment of Kazuki and Rei take new jobs. They're running out of time, so Kazuki has to do some stuff solo while someone watches Miri, because the daycare shuts down for a couple days due to, like, a whole bunch of kids getting sick. Miri gets lost because she tries to chase Kazuki.
Yeah.
Q-chan or whatever his name is, the guy that runs this restaurant bar that gives him the hitman jobs as a cover.
Yeah.
Miri stumbles upon him. He takes care of her because he knows the whole situation. But they do make the note of, listen, this line of work is, like, dangerous. You can't have a kid, otherwise it's going to prevent you from doing your jobs.
Yeah.
But
do you think at the end he's going to sacrifice himself to make sure his kid's okay?
Probably. Or there might be something.
Or the best friend.
But the
like,
best part
it?
is, like, Miri, her assignment while she's gone from daycare is, like, find out what your dads do for work. And they can't say hitman. It's like, your dad does, like, adult stuff. Like, grown-up stuff.
Yeah.
So Q-kun, the basically boss that gives him jobs, is like, oh, what did Kazuki do? Oh, Kazuki's a stand-up comedian, but he bombs all the time, so, like, he doesn't tell anybody. Oh, what does Rei do? Because Rei's the other, like, daddy. Like, she calls him. It's also weird because they're going around, they find out, oh, you have two dads? Because, like, I don't know if being gay is really okay. Not okay, but it's not, like, fully accepted. Whatever.
I typically like to refer to it as don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
Like,
what do you think
country edition.
Q told Miri what Rei does for work?
Sells his body to other men.
No, he's an oil baron.
Oh.
So she's drawing her dads, and she draws Rei like an oil baron. So, like, the white coat with, like, the hat and all of that. And then she tells everyone at school that's what her dad does. And all the moms like, checks out. How do I get on that? And then one of them's like, how to get a divorce.
Jesus.
They're both good-looking men, apparently. But within these episodes, they find Miri's mom.
Mm-hmm.
That originally she sent Miri to Kazuki with a picture of her and her daughter.
Yeah.
Apparently she's a giant, like, con almost. Because her actual dad is dead. So Kazuki tries to convince Miri's mom, like, you have to take care of her. Because she used to be a very talented singer that was up and coming in the world. Had the kid, was left alone by the husband. But you find out Miri's dad was actually killed by the organization that these two guys work for. Because he was like some high-level crime, level 100 boss first, level 1.
It just feels weird, though. Because, I mean, at some point, clearly he would have assumed, well, maybe it is my kid, because those two definitely would have banged.
Well, yeah, she sent the picture, but apparently she's been doing this to multiple people. And everyone just sends her back with a buttload of money as, like, compensation. So there's this big fight of, like, you need to take care of your kid. She's like, I don't care about the kid, fuck her. That's why Kazuki decides to keep the kid. Because you get this emotional episode of, this is our last day with her. Let's do some nice stuff. She's all set up. And then you have the whole thing. I'm like, oh, they actually will. So that's why I'm saying it feels way more of a... Episode 1 and 2 is definitely a... This is our... Like, we're hitman, now we have a kid. But episode 3, 4, 5 is... We have a kid and we just happen to be hitmen.
Yeah, okay.
So all in all, I think it's definitely worth it. It's got a 7.77. That's held for about 3 weeks, I think. So it's technically it's just not called Buddy Daddies. It's just like a little undertone, like 2 hitmen and a kid or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say you should still watch it. Animation's great, story's great. I mean, I just love everything about it. What?
I'm waiting. You're going to say a sentence.
No, we can just move on, even though Miri's an angel.
There
Speaking of the angel next door. Yo, this show's trash.
Fuck you.
Give me one reason why this show isn't. In 10 words or less, tell me why this show isn't trash. 10 words or less, Justice, why this show isn't just utter slice of life rom-com trash.
Miharu peeking past the door, calling him Baka, leaving.
You know exactly. That's why I'm just like, it's so like, it is every trope. It is every trope in the show.
It was adorable. You know you like this show.
You want to spend Christmas Eve with us? Nah, don't worry. Spends Christmas together. It's like, oh, so glad for you taking care of my sister, your cute girlfriend. She's like, She's like, my name's blah, blah, blah. She says she didn't immediately say no to the girlfriend.
Look, they're very clearly like liking each other and things are ramping up a little bit.
He's a spitting image of his dad, by the way.
Yeah.
Which then she's immediately like, oh shit, you know it's gonna look like that when he grows up?
Yeah, because at one point he dresses up, does his hair correctly, and they go
It was
Christmas, New Year's stuff.
It was adorable. She's wearing a yukata.
Oh, is he you?
No, she's wearing her kimono. Gotcha. She's wearing her kimono. It's like, oh, you look. What does he say? You're looking
beautiful.
You look like the spitting image of Japanese beauty.
Cute and beauty.
Yeah.
And
she's like, you look cool too.
And he's like, well, you gotta do that tomorrow.
I mean, he was dressed pretty stylish. Like he was dressed almost exactly like his dad, minus different color.
Yeah, I did appreciate because people do occasionally like interchange cute and beautiful, and the fact that like he took the time to like specifically say like this and this, and then explain it slightly.
You should have said she was looking dummy thick.
Shut up. I'm trying not to make a joke while you're drinking. Don't need to make a mess.
Sounds like those two need to make a mess.
He's getting there. Them going through New Year's, she gets caught holding his hand, but because he's dressed up and he like does his hair, it's fucking Clark Kent over there. They're like, we don't know who this dude was, but he was handsome. And he's over there like, no one knows this movie?
Even I've never seen someone that's like done their stuff like that. Minus one coworker, I'll tell you who she was later, but she was wearing like a wig. There was no way someone can like Clark, like, take off your glasses real quick. Like, if I were to look across her real quick, like, it's still Justice.
Well, yeah. I mean, my big thing is I don't really style my hair or do anything like that.
What hair?
But well, currently I don't have a lot of hair. I've got enough to like.
There was no way. Like, I hate that whole thing of like people change up their hair, a lot, and then they like put on like maybe some makeup or something. They look completely different. Nah, man, they still look the same. You were just bad at seeing people.
It depends on the person.
Because Clark Kent.
Well, I mean, there's definitely some people that
Zooey Deschanel though.
When they dress up, they like almost look like a different person.
This ugly mug will look the same regardless.
Well, I mean, yeah, dude.
Wow, man, where's the hype?
70s ass sideburns.
Hey, it looked great with the suit.
Yeah, okay.
That video is not out. I never used any of that footage.
Yeah, I bet you didn't. This show's really enjoyable. Japan. Yeah, the cat is a little bit out of the bag because his parents know that she helps out. They think that they're dating. Which at this point, they kind of are. They're just dating without dating.
They're on the first names now.
Yeah, they're on the first names. She slept in his bed twice.
Dude, it was kind of like,
she got carried to bed.
That's where he picked up.
And she even faked sleeping when he like caressed her face, and it's like, okay, you know what's going on.
Well, that could have been a little creepy,
whatever.
too.
No, I mean, yeah, but she keeps getting like flustered.
He was very like, I am taking you and putting you in your bed. The quote was, if you didn't pay attention a few seconds earlier, like if you would have looked away and looked back, we're either going to your bed or mine. I was like, well, hold the phone. What's going on here?
Yeah. It's because she was sick. It's not creepy.
Well, everyone's getting sick this week, too.
Yeah. That happens.
Yeah, there's a lot of Christmas episodes, a lot of people getting sick.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people getting together or not getting together.
Yeah. But the cat's out of the bag because two school classmates, his friend and girlfriend, both know as well. Which, of course, I knew it was going to happen because it was like Christmas Eve and they're doing a party at like his place to get pizza, all that. And they're like, oh, it's snowing. And it's like, man, whoever you're keeping secret next door, like, you must be a great person. And then they go out on the balcony and it's like, wait, what are you doing next door? And it's like, I asked.
They also got scarves. Well, she got a scarf for him. He got a purse for her.
Yeah. Which
I have no idea how good. I'm a terrible gift giver unless you're like, hey, Matt, I want this. And I'm like, here you go. Unless it's a $600 Clips audio speaker set, then go fuck yourself.
Damn. Should double check to see if those are sold. if not.
Oh yeah, because we've sold like a 1 in a year. Sorry, this is a little personal work thing, and it's like,
well, when they get marked down. But yeah, I like the show a lot. It's wholesome. It's adorable. I enjoy it.
You know what I realized? What's throwing me off about like their character design and stuff? It's like a JRPG.
Kind of
like video game style.
I'm fine with that though.
So at one point, his like when you look how they stand in the background, like his friend is definitely standing like that romance game kind of stance, and their hair and all that. I was like, this is what's throwing me off because I like that different studios are starting to do slightly different animation styles rather than kind of like the standard one over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, I enjoy the show a lot. It's really up there. I think I like this more than Nagatoro. That was a disappointment. Like I was gonna say that's all, and then like, all right, well, hold on. Let me set this back down real quick.
Let me tell you why you are wrong. Nagatoro. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, I'm sorry that you enjoy abusive women.
What can I say?
Harassment, bullying. That man's gonna not go out with her. He's gonna blow his fucking head off.
Call me Kanye's wife because I love the abuse. I don't.
Jesus.
No, I do have some anime news before we actually end it today. Do you want to guess what my big anime news is?
Like Rico's getting a special
anime
project.
It's bigger than that.
There's been Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai's
I could care less.
movie.
I never saw that.
You disgusting bitch. Hey, you want to borrow my Blu-rays?
No, because they're always sticky.
No, that'd be gross. It's not like inappropriate.
No, because you use them as coasters.
No, what?
I have no idea. I'm just throwing it. No, I mean it's leaks. I don't know if it's officially still confirmed. There were some more leaked photos, supposedly.
Allegedly.
Mappa doing Berserk, rebooting it from start. And the photo, just from the photo, some of their other leaked photos from Attack on Titan, it looks pretty much identical to the leaked photos. So I'm hoping this holds up. I'm like, oh, they're finally doing Berserk the right way.
Yeah, look, Ed.
It's the third time. It's the third time.
Yes, but you knew that they would eventually get around to getting it right. Because I'm pretty sure one studio had the rights to it for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I would assume that the board that kind of helps fund a lot of that is like, no, give that to them.
Yeah, Mappa's over there like, oh, you want something good? Here you go.
Yeah. Typically, it's like, oh, you guys want some really good shit? Mappa, UFO Table, Bones.
I feel like the big difference is Bones does a lot of like unique
Kyoto animation.
Yeah, unique high animation. Kyoto does a lot of high animation for like normal stuff, like not out of the world like Promare, nothing like that.
You say that, but Dragon Maid.
Well, yeah. But I'm talking like, they don't do it constantly. But then
they don't have to do it constantly.
But then you think Mappa, they do a lot of high tier, like everything. Then UFO Table's like, you want the best shit you've seen all year?
You bitches want to see how to use CG?
They do it very, 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 very well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
because I think they blend. They use the CG as the main piece, and then they're
like, we'll blend
copy it a little bit with 2D.
Well, plus with Demon Slayer, they did a very good, unique style that works well with CG.
Mm-hmm.
So all I'm saying is the amount of times I had to look at a Demon Slayer clip, and I'm like, it doesn't matter what clip I use. It just looks amazing no matter what.
Yeah.
But that was my big news on there. Plus, we're almost 1 month away from our Japan trip.
We still got shit we gotta do.
Stuff we gotta pre-record.
Hey, have you bought your rail pass yet?
No.
You should do that.
Yeah, I know the yen keeps going up in price on there.
Yeah.
Well, it got to the point where it's like, if we're just going to Kyoto and back, how much money do I really save? Because I'm getting one of each card. I'm getting a Suica card and a Pasmo card. Right? Pasmo? Yeah, Pasmo.
Suica best. It got penguin.
I did find out some info about like certain things we can get there, and I'm kind of excited.
He's getting a blowjob. Woo! Thanks for watching.